Good evening, church. There's a book that came out in the early 2000s called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. It tells the story of a young boy from Malawi, a country in Africa by the name of William Kamkwambi. He was a young boy. He lived in a very poor village, and they were underneath a time of great famine and a time of great hardship, as we hear a lot of stories that come out of Africa many times along those lines. But he was a boy that loved education. He was unable to continue in his school. His parents didn't have the money to continue his tuition. But there was a library that he could get to, and he went and he would read and read and read as much as he could. And he began to read books on science, and he was learning how electricity can be generated by a windmill and nothing more. Of course, we know that down here. We drive by Corpus Christi and other places, and we see those huge windmills, and they're there because they can generate electricity. He wanted to build one of his own and have electricity in his own home, and maybe even be able to draw water from a deep well. And so he would go around and he would go through the junkyards, and he would find a broken piece of a tire rim over here, an old fan motor over there, and he began to pull all this pile of trash together, and everybody would mock him and make fun of him. Why would anybody collect trash? Until one day he had finally started putting it all together, and this young boy, this happened in 2002, he was born in 1987, and this young boy began to construct it, put it all together, and he made a windmill. Everybody's still kind of wondering, what is this foolishness? What's he trying to do? Until he hooked it up, and that windmill powered a one little light bulb. He began to improve it and improve it and improve it until he could run the electricity in his house, and was able even to function as to draw water up from a deep well. And what that is a little bit of an illustration of how somebody can redeem something else. Something that was somebody else's trash, somebody else's refuse, that he could dig through and find a new purpose and a new meaning and a new way to use it to bring great good into a life. There's even a deeper story of redemption here. Because this young boy in that back village of Malawi, this boy who later would go on and build other windmills who would bring a little bit of relief into his entire village. This very same boy was in a home where the father was mean, rough, and abusive. Until one day somebody told him about the great God. He got saved. And that little boy, William, was in an environment and in a place to be able to help his home and his family, his village, his world. Because there was a God who was able to change his father and change his home. We've talked the last couple of weeks about God, who is the creator of the world and the universe, who made all things well. We talked last week about sin that is a destroyer, that has come into our world and brought famine, has brought anger, has brought hatred, has brought bitterness, jealousy, envy, war, and destroyed the creation of God. But this week it is our blessing to be able to dig into the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11 to verse 14, and read about Jesus Christ, who is the Redeemer, who came into a ruined, broken, sinful, dreadful world and brought the light of glory and hope, who can take a wretched sinner like me and give me a brand new life, make me useful to his glory, his kingdom. Be making your plans. Come out to service tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock English. We'll see you there. God bless.